basically.
Yes, of course. A lot of people will quit drudge jobs and go exploring or whatever. So what? Why not?
But like you said, it's about control because at the moment they're the guys who were wily enough and manipulative enough to get control, and they don't want to cede control.
They want centralized control. They want centralized control, and I'm saying no. Just set them all free. And some people will become wastrels, alcoholics, engage in endless orgies or whatever. Over time, such people will be wiped out by the processes of evolution. And the people who want to work will continue to work. I'll never retire. You know, the word worship originally started as workship.
Okay.
And it's the idea that you want to expand knowledge, build new things, explore new horizons. That'll always be in our DNA. And there's no need for central control for that to happen. Everyone, we have a natural exploring instinct.
Right.
We wish to learn more, see more, do more.
About that natural instinct to learn more, I think it's been quite successfully held back and suppressed in a lot of people because of like social conditioning. Like how on the point of media and conditioning, what is it today that people have this often switch off when you mention certain topics, and like how does it happen?
The main form of conditioning is actually through the women. The trick to slavery is you beat a man within an inch of death, to an inch of death, in front of the woman. And the woman naturally learn, okay, we have to teach our men, our sons, our brothers, our husbands, to obey the system. And I remember my mother and my sister constantly trying to curb my ambitions, pull me down, tell me no, tell me to obey, even though it was obvious that the structure was wrong.
Yes.
And the other aspect of control is, as you say, it's the education system, the media. They controlled the information. They took over a free society with very intelligent people, and they deliberately dumbed them down. This was mainly in the United States. Fortunately, Canada, Australia, and Britain were not under their full control.
When you say they, a lot of people don't like. Well, it sounds speculative. I'm not accusing you of that, but I'm saying that I call it the hierarchy enslaving you, they. But who would you say they? The Rockefellers in America, or what would you say?
It's a group of families descended originally from King David.
And is that their belief, or do you think that's that part of it?
I believe it to be true. Okay. They believe it to be true too.
Okay.
In other words, it's royalty dating way back to ancient Babylonia, and they have the knowledge of the old high priests of Egypt and whatnot on how to control society. They control. It starts with the story of Joseph in the Bible, where the king takes a certain percentage of the crop and stores them in granaries. And if you control the food supply, then you can control all the people who do not engage directly in agriculture by controlling their food supply.
Right.
So
much the same way today, energy and water.
And food. Energy, food, and information. If they can, and violence. That is to say, you control the physical coercion, the ability to kill people and discipline them. You control their food supply, their information supply, and now their energy supply. And then you can control society. And they're obsessed with centralized control.
On that point of centralized control, we've just seen the Copenhagen Treaty sort of disintegrate into oblivion. It's the UN and the IPCC and all the key players.
Well, what happened was that they didn't get any money. They were cut off. George Soros was supposed to get $100 billion to give to bribes to the developing countries so they could agree with COP15 when they were cut off. They weren't given that money.
By the IMF. The IMF refused to.
The IMF didn't get the money.
Well,
They're
aren't
bankrupt.
So that's another point that I've been trying to get at. The IMF is bankrupt, but it's fiat money. I mean, the fiat system can only go so far, and you're saying that it has gone to its extent.
Well, what's happened was that the fiat money system was controlled out of the City of London, Wall Street,
not London in New York,
and the BIS.
in Switzerland.
And what happened was 64% of global financial resources belong to Asia. And the Asians decided that, we're going to decide how to spend this money. We're not just going to give it to these people anymore. Because look what they're doing.
Such as Iraq and Afghanistan.
Well, killing people and destroying the environment and engaging in 90% of human savings were going to this giant war machine.
Right.
For what purpose? For the purpose of control and murder? So they cut them off.
When you say the Asians, who they the Asians? I mean, the Japanese or the Chinese or Indians or Asia? I mean, are they the people?
The Asians have always had secret societies that are very different from Western secret societies. Western secret societies existed to help kings and royal families control society.
There's a hierarchy. It's
they're to enforce a Babylonian type of tyranny or absolute monarchy.
And how are these different?
Kept secret. The Asian secret societies normally are just martial arts societies, chambers of commerce. They don't engage in politics. And what happens is that if there's an emergency situation, they become active. It's like an emergency fire department.
Okay. And so, a lot of people who are familiar with material will recall your information about the ninja assassins and the vast legions. Are there really that many, or is it? I mean, are they members of the group? And I mean, we have the Society of Freemasons. They're not really Masons; they're just the newies. The Ringians. Is it a similar thing? Like you've got associates, or are there really that many Asian people involved in the martial arts training?
Well, I mean, most of the people studying martial arts are not Asians anymore. You go to any city on the planet, any country, you'll find martial arts studios. Mm-hmm. And they all have a hierarchy.
Okay.
There's someone they report to. They're a sensei, their teacher. Right. And at the head of this network is something known as the Black Dragon Society. And it's headed by a man called Chodoin Daikaku. Yeah. And he has the ability to mobilize all these people in an emergency. And this is different from the Chinese secret society.
So Chodoin Daikaku. And it's different to the Chinese secret society?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, the Chinese secret society is kind of too China-centric.
Okay.
They only look at things through a Chinese lens to protect China.
Right.
Whereas the Black Dragon Society, it looks from a global perspective. We're here to protect the planet, not a particular country or ethnic group.
Okay. So it's all very interesting. So if I'll just press pause at the moment while we get to do with technical issues.